It's Platt, and today we go to Wyoming. That's next to Platt's Beer of the Week. So the particular beer we have today comes to us from Roadhouse Brewing. It is their Family Vacation Cream Ale. A little bit about Roadhouse Brewing. It is located in lovely downtown Jackson, Wyoming. Just to clear up a little confusion, something I had when I went up there. There's a difference between Jackson, Wyoming and Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I was recently up there. I went to Grand Teton National Park, Yellowstone, and Jackson's located just south of the entrance to Grand Teton. And asked one of the locals there, I'm like, all right, well, what's the difference? The way they explained it to me is that the Jackson Hole is the valley. Once you get up there, you realize it's a mountainous area, however. And Jackson Hole is the valley as a whole, and Jackson is the incorporated town, the official little incorporated town. So if you ever go up, which I encourage because it is absolutely stunning up there in both those national parks, just know that they kind of refer to the same thing, but there's a little bit of a difference. And as far as the downtown Jackson goes, Jackson's a small town. I use the term downtown loosely. There's actually an area they refer to as Town Square. That's kind of what I'm talking about. It's a little park. It's just a generic block. And then around that is all the local bars, pubs, restaurants, whatever. The park's actually pretty cool because there's 4 entrances into the park. And over each one's a giant archway made out of elk horns or elk antlers, which is pretty cool to see. And in that area, across from the park, is Roadhouse Brewing. So a little bit about Roadhouse Brewing. It was founded by a couple different gentlemen. One is Gavin Fine. He's a chef and restaurateur. And the other gentleman was Colby Cox. Colby was a avid home brewer and local entrepreneur. And they got together around 2012 and started hanging out, started kind of sharing a similar vision. And the real passion was pairing quality beer with quality food, which makes a lot of sense. To me, beer is almost better than wine as far as pairing a food, because beers are so many styles and so many, especially nowadays, we're adding so many different ingredients to beers, honey or orange peels, what have you, where in wine you really don't get that. So there's more versatility to me in beer when pairing with food, so that just made sense. They came together, started working on the idea, and they eventually took over the billiard room of a place called Roadhouse Pub and Eatery. And they brought their brewing equipment there, and I guess the rest they say is history. They started creating the magic. And by about 2017, they expanded to the point where they were starting to distribute outside the area. So where we are today. Roadhouse's motto is Live Deep. And it's kind of ties in with the local culture up there. There's a lot of skiing, mountain climbing, biking, ATVing, river rafting, a lot of the extreme sports. So, live deep kind of fits in with the culture up there. And their marketing follows that theme. One of the things they do is they don't have like a celebrity endorser like some of the big breweries or whatever. They have what they call brand ambassadors. And it's kind of an eclectic collection of people that work with the brewery but also help promote the brewery. They have an art director, a knife maker, professional skier, professional paraglider. I didn't even know that was a profession, but who knew? But anyway, they all kind of, this eclectic crowd kind of works with, again, the vibe of the brewery and the vibe of the area. So it kind of works out, and I thought that was interesting. Also, too, again, being so close to 2 beautiful national parks, and the environment's very important with them, and they're very environmentally proactive. They recirculate the heat from the boil kettle. They use solar power, several other things, but again, it works with their marketing motif and it works with the area. Well, before we try this beer, though, let's check out the stats. All right, so I thought today I would talk about a little different subject because I was recently just up at Jackson Hole, went by this brewery, just saw the beauty of nature water. And researching this brewery got me thinking about breweries and what they've done for the environment, or how the new age of craft brewers become environmentally proactive. This in no way is a political rant about the environment or whatever. Trust me, I am very apolitical. But I just think it's neat on some of the stuff these breweries are doing. So I've written down 5 different things that these breweries are doing to help the environment. First foremost is the use of solar powers. A lot of breweries, especially new breweries, are getting real proactive on the use of solar. Solar's become more efficient lately, and let's be honest, it helps cut back costs. Save on energy, and also kind of get you off the grid, or God forbid something happens with your local power company. A good example of this is Sierra Nevada. Sierra Nevada gets roughly 25% of their electric power from solar. And if you think about an operation as big as Sierra Nevada, that's pretty impressive. The next thing is sustainable packaging. Recently, a trend you probably noticed is that a lot of brewers have switched from bottles to cans. This is done for several different purposes, not just for the environment. It keeps the beer from sunlight coming in, getting skunked. If you've seen my home brewing videos where we kind of talked about that, if you're home brewing, you don't want to use clear bottles because, again, the sun will skunk it. Your green bottle beers have a little skunkiness to it, and that's part of the reason. But as far as the environment goes, cans are just so much easier to recycle than bottles. Also, too, they weigh less, which, if you're shipping X cases of beer, that weight, really helps, the gas mileage on the truck. Next is sourcing local products. A lot of breweries have gotten real proactive on sourcing their ingredients from local sources. Now, there's some places where you're just not going to get access to barley or wheat. In America, there's not a lot of barley or wheat grown in Florida or Louisiana, what have you. But you can generally find organic honey nearby, or certain blueberries, or this, that, and the other. And that just helps cut down on food being shipped everywhere. I want to say I read an article a while back that the average meal, the products that make the average meal have been shipped 1,500 miles or something like that. So it cuts down on that, and it allows, again, the brewer to have a relationship with the actual farmer. Next is reusing bourbon barrels. If you've seen any of my videos on bourbons or whiskeys, or we talk about how by law bourbon barrels can only be used one time, so you're cutting down a lot of trees to only get one use out of a barrel. But fortunately, though, a lot of breweries have started their own barrel programs or barrel-aged beers, and instead of buying new barrels for that, they will buy used bourbon barrels. And again, that's for a couple different purposes. A, it does help the environment because we're chopping down less trees to make newer barrels. And B, you do pick up that bourbon taste, and it really adds something, especially the big, high ABV multi beers, that bourbon that's still left in that barrel, that flavor, that helps with the beer too. So it's a win-win for everybody. Last but not least, most of your craft brewers actually donate their spent grains. Once you're done with the mash, you kind of don't need those grain anymore. You don't want to keep them. So you donate, most people donate to local farmers. Well, now we get a second use out of that. The farmer gets free grain, which is great for his business. And again, we're having to grow less grain, and we're having to ship less grain to feed these animals. So it helps everybody. So that's several ways that the craft brewing industry helps with the environment. I think that's kind of cool. So enough talking about craft beer. Let's drink craft beer. All right, pretty light in color. Seems just a shade lighter than most of my cream ales, but it just could be the lighting in here. All right, a little light maltiness on the nose, not a lot of hops, which is pretty indicative to the style. Let's give her a taste. Man, that's just a nice, clean, easy drinking beer, well executed. No kind of funky aftertaste from wherever it. Carbonation level's nice. Yeah, it's a well executed beer. Family vacation, that'd be a good time to try that. You take a family vacation up there. It's warm, but not too hot up there. I think it was 80 degrees when we were up there. Absolutely beautiful. But a nice summer sipper. Real easy going down. I've said about these cream ales before. If you're wanting to get your buddies out of the whole Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud Light thing and try something new, this is one of the easier beers to sell them on. Again, just goes down easy. It's not a high ABV beer. It's not too hoppy. It's not too thick. Just a good, nice beer. The boys at Roadhouse did a good job. I want to say when I was there, I tried their amber, and I liked it. It was a nice little malty beer. It wasn't too big. Again, I was there summertime, so it wasn't anything too big. But I want to say it was their amber. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a good beer too. So with that being said, hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good product. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or beers that you would like me to try, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Well, until next time, bottoms up.